What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to G Myers World Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Football, Week 10, 2022. It was the Eagles, it was the Washington Commanders, and a lot of you guys, like myself, thought the Eagles were the best team, but we're going to talk about the way the Commanders and the refs just beat on them. You know what I'm saying? The Commanders and the refs beat on the Eagles. And I know it sounds weird, and it's like, yo, G, the Commanders did play well. They did. They had a very, very good game plan. We're going to talk about some of the things that they did. They were very methodical in their approach to beat the Eagles, but we already know what happened at the end of the game. Tyler Heinicke, that dude is just very, very, I don't know, is it his IQ that's very high? Like when he took that quick knee and got hit and then got the penalty to end the game. It was just like everything was in the favor of the Commanders. And we're going to talk about the fact that I believe, like I said, to start the season, I don't know why Heinicke wasn't the starter. I know you brought in Carson Wentz and all that stuff, but Heinicke brings a different type of excitement, and you have to give these guys opportunities until you see something like no response from the squad. And the team just seems to play better, in my opinion, with Heinicke. Let me know, if you're a Commanders fan, what you feel when you see that. But we're going to talk about, the time of possession, the 40 minutes to the 19 minutes. Now, you can go ahead and blame the refs for the face mask, and they didn't see this and they didn't see that. Obviously a lot of things go on. There's a lot of blown calls. This is not something that just is unique to the Eagles, all right, coming in undefeated. This is not unique to the Eagles. The refs are not going to see everything. Sometimes they'll turn a blind eye to things that are very obvious. My point is this, though. They came in with a great game plan, and when plays were needed to be made, the Commanders made the plays, all right? We can, like I said, it's a lot of things that go on with sports where it's like, oh my God, yo, why did they do this? Yo, G-Mai, did you see this? Yeah, I saw it. I saw it all. But again, if we go through every game that's been played this year, almost every game has a play or two where it's like, oh my God. But when you look at that time of possession, that's huge. Now look, let me explain to you guys how they did that. Brian Robinson averaged just 3.3 yards a carry. Okay? That's all he averaged. And you're looking at it like, yo, that's disgusting. And you're right. But he gained the necessary yards that was needed to convert to third downs. They finished 12 of 21 on third down. Bro, those type of percentages, and a lot of those plays, there were no penalties, there were no blown calls, there were no, like, the refs are out to lunch type thing. They had a game plan that worked, all right? It was definitely a game plan that worked. Also, I want to talk about the fact that I don't really understand. Like, they both had turnovers, right? Both teams had turnovers. But the way that the Eagles didn't play the way that they usually play with the heavy blitzing and stuff like that, they started off really, really low. Like, the Eagles could have easily, in my opinion, right, the Eagles could have easily won this game. Let's not get it twisted. I know you're reading the title like, yo, the Commanders and the refs, they dominated the Eagles, giving them their first loss. But I do believe the Eagles are obviously the better team. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Any given Sunday, although this happened on a Monday, any team can win any week. But when you have the proper game plan, and in this case, a little bit of assistance from the refs, you're going to be okay. But let's not try to act like this is not a 60-minute game. And if the Eagles were, the Eagles had a lot of opportunities, even late when, Jalen hit that dude. Well, I forgot the wide receiver's name that fumbled, bro. That dude is garbage. Bro, Jalen Hurts hit him right in the numbers. The dude drops, gets up, and fumbles. There were a lot of mistakes that the Eagles look to try to lose the game in every single way, fashion, and form. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just automatically say, you know what, yo, bro, this. No. They had chances over and over. They got the ball back. The defense continued to play. There is no excuse for the way that this happened. You know what I'm saying? People have to take accountability for these actions. It does not make any sense that everybody is going to just be blaming the refs completely. And I understand it's tough to lose, to a division rival that you're better than. Like, in no way, form, or fashion is anybody waking up this morning saying that the Commanders are a better team than the Eagles. But for this game, they actually played it smarter. And that was the key. All right. Now, with all of that being said, right, with everything that's going on, we've discussed a majority of the game. I told you how it ended on a really, really foolish penalty. Because some people are saying, yeah, yo, G, he couldn't stop. Yes, he could have. Bro, this is the thing, right? You can't just rush with your eyes closed. Like, you got to see that the quarterback took the knee. So I know the play looked fluky when he hit him after Heinicke took the knee. I understand that. But even with that being said, if you have your eyeballs open and you are blessed with sight, you have to be able to turn yourself to the side and avoid any contact. Even though it did look like he let up when he hit him, it's still a penalty. The player gave himself up. And as frustrating as it was, you know, Heineke is not Tom Brady. He's not like these big name guys, Mahomes, all that stuff. You're going to get that call on a main scene. Like, this is a Monday night football game. The refs are not going to say, oh yeah, let him play. They're not going to do that. That is a penalty. I just want to be clear with that as well. So a lot of things can be true in that regard. But that one right there, I'm not mad about the call. Like, look, listen, I know a lot of the times when we see certain plays like, yo, the NFL has gotten soft, that's a really, really cut and dry rule. You cannot hit the player once they give themselves up. So that's on the defender in that case. Now, speaking of all the blemishes and all the disgusting stuff that went on, even with everything that happened, the Eagles are still a very, very dominant force, okay? If they come out and they do their real thing, like they come out, they blitz the way they're supposed to, and they don't let up like the defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon did, if they do the right thing all the way through the game, they are a very, very difficult team to beat. That is what I want everybody to understand. I'm not saying that this team can't still do what they're supposed to do in any way, fashion, or form. That's not what my point is. My point is that on this day, they got dealt with accordingly by Taylor Heineke. Now, let's get to the big juice of the situation, right? Like I told you guys, right? Ron Rivera, I don't think Ron Rivera really cares as far as the way it goes to Carson Wentz. When he said what he said, right? A lot of you guys were like, yo, bro, you know, he lost the locker room and all that stuff like that. And I told you, a lot of the players don't believe in Carson Wentz. I told you guys this. And it's not because of the fact that Carson Wentz can't be a formidable quarterback. It's the fact of that, like, he's not a leader. And when you don't demand the respect, and then there's a shrine made for another quarterback when you were with the Eagles, a lot of things like Nicky Foles, bro, in my opinion, is what he goes to a psychiatrist and talks about. All right, that's what's going on with Carson Wentz. He still can't get over the fact that they built a shrine for the guy when he was having an MVP season for that Eagles season when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. So since that time, I told you guys, Ron Rivera didn't lose the locker room. I think he gained a lot of respect from the team because they were like, yo, he really said that, and this guy does suck. And a lot of coaches won't say it. And again, I said in the video, it's not like the right thing to do, because you do take away in some aspects from some of the men that are there. Like, yo, wow, what's good? Yo, this guy's real honest. But it does two things. It either makes you play better and you're accountable, or you have like some kind of anger over the fact that he's saying it to the public. Either way, it doesn't really matter the way that a lot of people viewed it. It changed the life of that team. Because what I believe it did was it added accountability. Carson Wentz was not playing well, and he was asked why, and he just simply said the quarterback. Now, when they ask him about Heineke, it's a different type of situation. It's sort of like he believes in Heineke. You know what I'm saying? And when I watch Taylor, dude, he just runs around and makes good plays for the most part. Like, okay, they had turnovers, in this game, whatever. But when he threw that deep shot to Terry McLaurin and he set up a field goal to push Washington's lead to 9, those type of plays is what makes me I like watching him play. And I know it's like, yo, G, bro, like, yo, he's not that good. Dude, I've been getting that all the time. I go to bars and dudes be like, yo, Taylor Heineke, bro, he's him. And then you got guys like, yo, Carson Wentz is the better, he has more experience, he's better. And I'm like, look, guys, let me just tell you straight up right away, Heineke right now is better than Carson Wentz. And they're like, yo, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. And then they watch games like this and they're like, all right, you got me. But remember, it's just one game. But Heineke has done this last season. I don't know if you guys remember what he was doing last season. That's why I was really, really shocked that he didn't just start. So as far as the way that this is all set up and it's like, yo, Carson Wentz was injured, he may be coming back, stuff like that. This is not a tough decision. In my opinion, this is not a tough decision. If you don't start Heineke, you're trying to lose the game. The only thing that is positive about this is if Heineke doesn't start and Carson goes up in there and stinks it up, I don't think you destroy Heineke's confidence because he's already an overachiever. That's the only thing that I don't think it's going to really do anything to his psyche because he's been fighting for his role in the NFL for his whole, for the whole time since he's been there, his whole NFL career. So it's not a big deal. The problem is once you go away from Carson, you got to stay away from him. Like, you can't go back. Like, dude, he's already been mentally damaged from everything he came away from. So you can't flip-flop and go backwards and do like all that stuff can't happen anymore. And that's the major issue that I'm thinking about after that game. But I do believe the Eagles are going to be fine. The one thing that I really don't know, like I really don't know what's going to happen as far as when they see the Giants, because now with the way that they played this game, I think the blueprint is out on how to at least contain them. And the Giants are playing well. The Giants are playing extremely well. Like I had to actually say, I got respect for them the other day, and I almost threw up in my mouth. But again, I do not believe that the Eagles are not ready to go. I just believe that they made too many errors in this one particular game, and it cost them excessively. That is my opinion in this situation right here. All right. So other than that, like I said, good game for the Commanders and the refs. They handled their business, but I think the Eagles are going to be still a tough fight in the playoffs, and we have to see, will they actually go back to Carson Wentz now that he's healthy? I would say to stay with Taylor Heineke. Let me know what you think. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.